All right, so we are checking out the bucket test here. So to do this test, you just answer the following questions with a yes/correct or no/incorrect. Synonyms, you know. Starting off, we've got the fitness bucket. Do you strength train 2 or more times per week? I'll just answer this like myself. Yes, I do. I do more than 2 times a week, so I can say yes. Do you use weights/machines? I do use weights. My gym that I work at, we don't actually really have machines, but that doesn't matter. I do use weights, so yes. Do you do body weight training? I do, yes. Do you do conditioning 2 or more times per week? Conditioning, to define it, can be a fairly challenging walk, like if you walk uphill, or if you're walking kind of fast, that elevates the heart rate more than just a comfortable walk. Jogs, sprints, those are types of conditioning. Riding the bike. And yes, I do. I do 2 or more times per week. Do I do steady state? Yes. So steady state, like going for a jog and sticking at the same pace the whole time. Yes, I do that. Only once a week because I find it boring. Do you do intervals? I prefer intervals. Yes, I do intervals. So like I do a sprint for 20, 30 seconds and then I rest for a minute or so and then I go again, or I do it on the bike, or I do it with a sled. Stuff like that. You don't feel tight or stiff frequently. So some of the questions are inverted so that you can still answer yes, because we want as many yeses as possible. So you don't feel tight or stiff frequently. Yes, correct. I do not feel tight or stiff frequently. Can you touch your toes? So I can get there. I just have to work on it. If I stood up right now and tried to touch my toes, no, I would not be able to. So no, I can't touch my toes most of the time. Can I do a deep squat? Yes, I can almost always get into a deep squat. Yes. You don't experience aches or pains, and this is not from an injury. If you got injured, that's like a whole other story, especially depending on the severity of the injury. But I'm talking like, oh man, my shoulder is stiff or my shoulder hurts. I can't do that movement even though I didn't have an injury. That's what I mean. And for the most part, I do not. I have had a back injury before, but I know how to deal with it and it doesn't really limit me. So I'm going to say, yes, I do not experience aches or pains. It is kind of confusing with the inverted questions, but sleep bucket. Would you rate your sleep quality 6 out of 10 or higher? Yes, I would. In fact, I would. I actually have an app that I do every single morning and asks me how I feel, and it asks out of 5, not out of 10. But out of 5, I always say 3, so double it, and I'm definitely at a 6. But I'd say 6 to 7 is most common for me. Sometimes I'm at an 8. And am I asleep for 7+ hours a night? Most of the time. So yes, I am typically asleep 7 hours a night. I try to be asleep for at least 7.5 hours a night because that's 5 sleep cycles. I mentioned that in the video before this one. You don't get up to use the bathroom at night. Correct. I rarely do. If I accidentally drink too much water, then I do have to get up to pee. But most of the time, no, I do not. So my answer is yes. You don't. Yes, correct. Are you refreshed in the morning? This is a hard one. So most of the time, yes, I am. The level of my refreshedness does vary, but I would say it's similar to this first question, sleep quality 6 out of 10. Out of 10, how refreshed am I? I'm a 6 out of 10. So let me go like this. So I'm going to say yes. 6 out of 10. All right. Yes. Do you get up without snoozing your alarm? Every single day. I never snooze my alarm. So that's a yes. You do not snore. I am 99% certain that I do not snore. My significant other has not told me that I have been snoring, so I hope that is accurate. Yes, You do not wake up with a headache. Yes. Need caffeine? Do I need caffeine? I do drink coffee every morning. Oh, that's a hard one. Um, I'd say it depends day to day. Yes, I need caffeine. So that's a no. I answer no here. Are you typically off screens within 30 minutes before bed? Yes, I try to do this every single day. I try to make it as long as possible where I am off a screen until bedtime. I try to do an hour, but 30 minutes is still pretty great. And is your bedroom as dark as possible? Because that's going to help a lot with overall sleep quality. And yes, it is. Right now it's still pretty warm, and we have an AC unit in our bedroom that has lights, so it's not as dark as it could be, but I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of light for the AC because I don't want to be sweating all night. That's even worse. Nutrition bucket. Do you think you have good nutrition? I think so. I'm pretty passionate about nutrition. I think I have good nutrition. Yes. Do you frequently cook your own meals? 8 out of 10 meals. Do you cook them yourself? Yes, I do. Do you eat more than 5 different veggies a week? So this is like you eat broccoli, you eat onion, you eat kale, you eat spinach, you eat other veggies. I'm running out of veggies names, but yes, I do. Um, do you eat more than 10 servings of veggies per week? Yes, I do. Do you eat more than 3 fruits per week? Yeah, I've got bananas, blueberries, apple, grapes, pomegranates, and then there's others in the rotation. Oranges, so yes, and 7 servings of fruit per week. Yes. Do you eat protein 3 or more times a day? There's different options of protein. Meats, eggs, seafood, powders, alternatives like Beyond Beef. It doesn't have to be an animal product. But yes, I do. Excuse me. And you never feel bloated. If I took this video 2 days ago, I would have been able to answer yes, because I went on a long period where I felt pretty good. But last night, I don't know why. I mean, it was a new dinner, but I still thought it was pretty good, but I felt really bloated last night. So I'm going to say no. Unfortunately, sometimes I do feel bloated. Stress bucket. You never feel anxious. Correct. I don't really get anxious very often, if ever. You never worry about things. I worry more frequently than I am anxious, but it's still fairly rare. I'm pretty go with the flow. So I'm going to say yes there as well. Correct on both of those. Do I laugh often? I think I laugh every single day. So yes. Do you sing or dance or do something similar most days of the week? I sing and or dance every single day because I like it a lot. But something similar could be like, I also have 2 dogs. Do you snuggle with your dogs or cats and really enjoy snuggling with them? I do. I love my boys very much. Do you enjoy the outdoors most days of the week? So long as it's not raining or crazy hot out, then I do enjoy the outdoors basically every single day. So yes. Do you enjoy most of your meals? Yes, I do. And this is kind of like not so much like is the meal tasty, but it's more like are you present in noticing the flavor of your meals and stuff like that. Not necessarily does it taste good, but do you enjoy and if there is company, do you enjoy the company? Can you breathe comfortably through your nose? I can. Yes, I can do that because I practiced it. Can you exhale and hold the exhale comfortably for 10 seconds? Yes, I can. That one is actually seriously important. Do that, please. Yes, I can. Do I have neck tension? Very rarely. I did kind of mess up my neck working out the other day, but for the most part, no, I don't have neck tension. do you have good peripheral vision? So this is kind of a funky one, but it is important. And to test it, take your hands and then just go like this. And if you can still see your hands when they are like right next to your head, then you have pretty good peripheral vision. And so then all you got to do is total up the yeses in each category. Whichever category has the least amount of yeses is likely the bucket that, if filled, will cause the greatest improvements towards your goal. But remember, the buckets interact with each other, so if two buckets are fairly low, it might be harder to figure out which one to start filling. So I'll use the sleep and stress bucket example again. If they are both low, is it the stress that is causing poor sleep, or poor sleep causing the increased stress? They can all affect one another, so if you need help figuring out where to start, all you have to do is ask. Unfortunately, I can't like make this specific for you to be able to edit because I don't know how. It's on a Google Doc that you can come on and look at, but I don't know how to make it so that it's specific for you. But if you scan the QR code here, or I'll have a link wherever you're watching this, there'll be a link. We can do it together. We can set up a time and do it together. So yeah, there's the bucket test. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.